Hey, what's up guys? Did you hear about the man who went to the doctor with a terrible flatulence problem? He said, "Doctor, my stomach really hurts and I fart all the time, but fortunately they don't smell or make sound." In fact, right now, while we've been having this conversation, I've had to let go of a few, and the only reason I can leave the house is because people can't hear or smell them. So the doctor does a full physical and finally gives him a prescription. And when the guy came back for his checkup, he was furious. He throws the bottle of pills on the doctor's table and says, "I'm much worse. The flatulence is exactly the same, but now the farts smell." The doctor says, "Well, that takes care of your nose. Let's see what we can do about your ears." So, speaking of letting a few go, today I want to talk about the benefits of letting go of our goals. Now, one of the most difficult things for self-employed salespeople to do is to get out of the way and let life deliver the things that they asked for. And in the coaching sessions I've had with people so far this year, there's been a consistent theme when it comes to goals. I've noticed a strong desire in people to double their income in 2021. And this is one of the most exciting things about being self-employed. You can declare to the world that you're giving yourself a huge raise. And think about how many people you know who can't do that, and they have to rely on someone else's grace for more income. But only a small fraction of people who state a goal of doubling their income will actually have done it by December. And now there are tons of reasons why this is the case, but I want to focus in on one specifically, and that's holding too tightly to the how. You see, we get to decide what we want, and life gets to decide how it gets delivered. So to put this in context, let's look at an agent who closed $10 million in production in 2020. Doubling that to $20 million in 2021 is totally possible. And there are many ways that could happen. In fact, there are so many paths to 20 million that it's rare that your ideal path is going to be the one that gets you there. And this is because life helps us advance by asking us to solve problems, or you could say adversity or challenges. In other words, when you want more out of life, life says, "Here's a challenge, handle it, and what you want will be yours." So an agent who closed $10 million in production now knows what kind of challenges come along with business at that level. But the same agent who set a goal to double 20 million now must learn a new set of challenges. But here's the thing, the challenges life would present to get me to $20 million aren't going to be the exact same challenges you'd get. So I remember the first time I wanted to double my income. I was still in my early 20s, which meant the majority of my sphere of influence was in college. And life had no problem with my desire to double my income. But I had to understand that my first challenge was to find a new source of leads and to learn how to turn them into clients. At the time, I was presented with an opportunity to learn how to work FSBOs and expired listings, which is a challenge all on its own, right? Well, because I tackled it head on, at the end of that year, I more than doubled my income. And it was a great year, but I also remember it being very challenging. And I distinctly remember more established agents around me who resisted learning to develop business from FSBOs and expireds. Many of them had big goals as well, but they were attached to their way. And agents with more experience than me would say, "Oh, Jason, all my business comes from referrals." Yeah, well, that's great, but looking back, few, if any of them, hit their goals because they refused to stay open to new challenges. Their insistence on directing how life would deliver what they wanted blocked it from happening altogether. So if you're following my thinking here, I thought I'd show you a fun exercise that may help you let go of some of your resistance and stay open to how life wants to deliver your biggest goals this year. First, take out a piece of paper and reflect on the past year. Write down a list of all the things that you're done with and ready to let go of. Think broadly about your personal life and business. So what habits or addictions or patterns of avoidance and lack of boundaries are you ready to let go of? Don't think about this too hard. Just let your emotions guide you through the process and write out anything that no longer serves you. And then second, turn the paper over and write down a list of your intentions and goals for 2021. And some of mine are to travel once per quarter for a personal retreat, play tennis more consistently, launch a new kind of coaching experience to go along with my book, The Top Producer Life, and to write my second book. So write that all out, and once you're finished, take a moment to look over what you've written and see what stands out. And I want you to choose a word or an emotion that best represents what you most want to feel, express, and embody this year. Mine just happens to be fearless. And then third, when you're finished writing all this out, hold it in your hand, honor all of the energy and consciousness that you've put into these lists, and then go somewhere safe and burn it. Okay, so here's my list. This is all the things that I'm done with. Filled up that side of the page. And on this side, this is my list of 2021 intentions and goals. Now we're going to light it on fire, turn it over to life. You ready? So burning your paper represents a physical letting go. It's a way to symbolize turning over to life how all of this is going to happen. All right, so if you can't do this safely outside, just rip up the paper and throw it away. I mean, you're doing the same thing symbolically anyway. But if you do burn it, have someone film you and send it to me, or post it on social media and tag me so I can see. But most of all, I just want you to have fun with it, okay? It's going to be a great week, you guys. Thanks for watching. My name is Jason Edwards, and let's go live the top producer life.